What's good? Welcome back. Apologies for the big delay. Rampage and some strict deadline projects got a hold of me for a while, but I'm back. I'm super happy to tell you guys that this guy, BS Audio Tools, reached out to me to check out his Max for Live devices, which is pretty cool because he's the first one. And he told me that there's a bunch of Spectral plugins that we should take a look at. Just to be clear from the beginning, this video is sponsored in a way that I got the plugins for free, but I didn't receive any money or anything like that. And BS Audio Tools didn't see the video in advance. They don't know what I'm about to say. So it's a completely fair review. I made a little test project, which you can download from my Patreon. You can download the stems as well, but the Max for Live devices are not going to be included because some of them are paid. So if you're interested, I'm going to link BS Audio Tools, Gumroad in the description and you can download them for yourself. I'm not going to show a whole bunch of post-processing for now because this video is about the devices themselves, but let's check out some of the variations I have here. Originally, the bass I made sounded like this. With this Spectral volume plugin, you can decide which frequencies get boosted or get deleted on a spectral level. So in every plugin, you can actually set the FFT size, overlap, anything that you should find in a Spectral plugin by default. And you can set up how many random points and random variation percentage you want on those points. So I just clicked through random a bunch of times and it ended up sounding like this. I just slapped it on, clicked random a bunch of times, tweaked the parameters here a little bit, and it became this sound. A little nasty. So obviously, because my sound originally has a lot of tonal content, you can elevate some of those with the Spectral little device. Let's move on to the other one, which is somewhat a similar approach. I have Spectral volume. I have the comb filter, which is free. Square 4 filter, which was based on the AU5 video of making the Square 4 sound from Maelstrom with Ableton stock effects. And I believe it's like comb filters and stuff. So with that, it sounds like this. And then the house comes from the BS Spectral Dynamics, which is compressor, but it's a 50 based Spectral basically. So right now it's at 512 FFT size, which it basically means it's 512 bands of compression happening. So I basically just compressed the high end and the low end and left the mid-range alone just a little bit. Although I'll say that the ratio values should have been shown here somewhere. So for example, I don't know what ratio is this. Obviously you can go by ear if you want to, but would have been nice if I could see the numbers or the threshold numbers like in actual decibels, because showing the spectrum with the ratio doesn't really help a lot. I have another one right here. It's called High Ender Max for Live. I call this High Ender because I have a Spectral compressor preset saved. It's a different plugin, but it essentially does the same thing. I set it to 2048, so it's a higher resolution version of the previous one, and it compresses upwards, which is key. So in this case, it basically acts like a 2000 band OTT at the moment. I compress the noises and the glitches of the top end and the low end upwards a little bit, so it can get obliterated with the distortions and compressors I have on the actual post-processing. But yeah, it sounds like this in context. Super cool, super tonal. Now here comes my favorite, the Spectral delay. The Spectral delay, come on, get my hand as well. So this Spectral delay is insane because you can actually draw in the delay amount on the actual Spectral, the whole thing live, which I've never seen before. I might be super late to the game, but I've heard about spectral delays a lot, but I never really paid attention to them other than Spectral Time in Ableton. So let's hear what it did to our little sound. Made it a little nasty. So you can basically just delay the FFT little buckets of frequencies relative to each other, which is insane. I can't really explain it any better, but you can set the feedback and the gain of the delay as well. I didn't really do that, but you can set it as well if you want to. To make it plain and simple, I'm just going to create a new one and just clear it and just show you the disperser thing. So as you can see, it's pretty cool indeed. Okay, the other device that I really enjoyed is Spectral Distortion, which reminds me of Spec Ops. I don't even remember the developer of that, but it was Spec Ops by something audio. I don't even know, but yeah, Spectral Distortion basically works the same way as every other plugin before. It's an FFT-based spectral effect, and it can create a lot of fun harmonics, distortion, all the good stuff. So before it sounded like this, and now it sounds like this. Okay, so here's the original sound. Let's make something fresh with the Spectral plugins we just got. I just want to show off this little free death distortion. I believe it's free. Let me check. Yep, that one is free. I'm just gonna create a little layer here. Let's just group it and just EQ out the parts we don't need. Create chain. Sounds like a bit reducer and also like overdrive, like a, or not overdrive, like a wave shaper. Okay, that sounds good. Let's just limit it a little bit so it's like not exceeding the original, the dry signal. Space laces, crunch method confirmed. That was weak. Fuck, I'm getting weak. Let's jump back to the folder. Spectral delay. It really is as easy as it looks. Okay, maybe you can like decrease the delay, so the maximum delay, so it's like not extremely off the grid. How cool is that? Let's just EQ it a little bit. Let's try something different. Let's do a spec vol because I enjoyed that a lot. So let's just do this and do this a little bit and do random. Let's make it crazy. This one works better after the post-processing. Actually, it kind of slaps before the post-processing as well. So let's just use it after maybe. Little too on grid. Little too off grid. In between 15 milliseconds. Let's add 20 on the sub. Okay, yeah. I mean, for heavy, distorted, bass-focused sounds, these plugins are insane. Even for softer sounds, the spectral dynamic stuff is really great. I enjoy it a lot. You can elevate sibilance in vocals. You can upwards compress only the parts that you really need, so you can leave the mids alone. You don't have to use OTT all the time. The distortion and wave shaping functionalities of the non-spectral plugins are really good as well. Feel free to check out BS Audio Tools. I think it's worth, especially for the spec vol and the spec dynamics. Those two are my favorites. And also Death Distortion for the Space Laces crunch is definitely up there. So go grab them. Thank you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm about to do some challenges. Make sure to comment down below what challenges or specifically production challenges you want me to do. The first thing that came to my mind was the making a drop without hearing Ableton. And then we turn on the sound and it sounds like complete shit. As usual, your one and only. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out my website for a lot of high quality Serum and Vital presets and drum samples. You can also support me on Patreon, where I upload bass music specific tutorial content every single month. Peace.